Hi friends, and welcome back to another video on this channel. This is very awkward because I haven't done this. I haven't filmed in like so long. It's been like months. And I mean, if you are new here, then thank you for being here. Thank you for clicking on this video, and I hope you can you will choose to stick around. But if you are not new here and you've been here for a while, I think I owe you an apology for just vanishing without any explanation. But listen, I've been thinking of making this video for a while now, ever since it got, well, it's 2020. When did we start saying 2025, 2024 instead of saying 2020 something, like 2019? Like, why does it odd to say that? When did we all just collectively shift to saying 2019, 2024, that's beside the point. Anyway, so it's the new year now. So happy new year. And how was your 2024? It was, I hope it was good, and I hope you have a better 2025. So that being said, I have lovely neighbors. The thing is, this room that anyway, what was I even saying? Okay, I just forgot what I was saying. You know what? Let's just move on. Oh, yes, I was telling you that I'm sorry for disappearing. But then I'm a little conflicted apologizing, because if you're truly sorry, don't repeat it. Like, don't do that again. But I will vanish again. I will disappear on you again. So I really have no excuse. It's just I have a life that but who doesn't? Everybody does. So like I don't know what I'm saying. Let's just move on. And for today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the books that I enjoyed reading this past year in 2024, and hopefully convince you to read them as well. Am I even looking into the camera? If I'm not, also just a disclaimer, okay? If I'm awkward, whenever I'm awkward, I just say the most randomest things. And usually when I'm editing, I would edit them out, but then I don't really have, let's just put it this way, I don't have very much time that I can invest in every single video like I used to, because editing takes so long. I mean, I'm not complaining, I like it, but like it's very time consuming, especially if you yap a lot and then you have to trim out all those stuff, and then if you have a lot of and then you're formulating your thoughts on camera, and then it's like it's a lot. So like I don't know if I'll be able to do that much of an editing this time for this video. So if I am not able to, then I apologize again. You'll just have to put up with whatever comes out of my mouth. Okay, anyway, so this last year, okay, this is, how do I start talking about the next topic? Oh my god. Okay, I read about 50-ish books, and I have five stars and a couple of disappointments that I want to talk to you about, because I haven't spoken about these to any. Oh my god, yes, I haven't spoken about these to anybody in like months. So like I want to talk. Okay, the first, my neighbors are moving something. Can you hear? Can you hear it? I don't know if you can hear it, but anyway, look, I have no control over it. I cannot help it. So yeah, so the first couple of books, I said couple of books because it's literally a couple of books. It's two books, and each of them are 150 pages. So put together, they're still a very short book, and I read them back to back. So it's kind of like just one book in my head, and it is the Monk and the Robot series by Becky Chambers. I read this as one of the first couple of books that I read back in January. I think I've spoken about it in quite literally every video I've made last year. Maybe I made like 4 videos. I'm pretty sure I've spoken about it in every video. So I read it in January. Yes, I already said that. It's like cozy sci-fi, very, very, very mild sci-fi, meaning the only sci-fi aspect is that there are robots and that's it. So like if you're expecting sci-fi, then this is not it. It's just a more reflective, introspective book. So each of our characters have their own set of questions and struggles that are dealing with, like what is the purpose of life, and what does humanity want, and what does it mean to be you, like what does it mean to be you, what does it mean to be me, so they're just pondering these questions, and you're just sitting with them and thinking with them on these questions, and that's just it. There's no plot, there's absolutely no plot. It's just sit with us and think through these questions, and then you will feel comforted. That's it. That's it. So if that's your type of book, which 100% is my kind of book, so like if that is your taste, then you are going to love this. If like, even otherwise they're short. Why can't you, like, you can just try it out, like they're very short. Like just try the first book, and like if you don't like it, then you're wrong. You have to read them. You have to read them. There's like no reason why you haven't yet read them. Like they're short, they're the best. Well, maybe accessibility is one reason why you could not have read them yet, but if you have access to these books, if you have them sitting in your shelves staring at you and you've still not picked them up, shame on you. Shame on you. But not really. No shame on you. I'm trying to be an Indian parent and shame you into doing things that you don't want to do, but I want you to do, which I don't think is very fruitful anyway. So what am I saying? See, this is what I meant. This is what I meant. When I get awkward, I just say random stuff. And it's not even funny. It doesn't even make sense. And I just end up saying stuff and just. Moving on. Uh, moving on. The next books also I have spoken about are Earthlings and. No, should I just combine them? Nah. We won't combine them. Earthlings by Sayaka Murata. I have already also spoken about this book. This is not wholesome, not cozy at all. It's quite. Just check out the trigger warnings before reading this. It gets a little crazy. It gets a little dark. Okay, so it's just people who feel like they don't fit in, and they have tried to fit in to societal standards of, and if you've ever felt like an outsider, just at any place, maybe you will like this book. Am I doing a good job selling these books to you? But listen, like I said, I've already talked about them in like previous videos. I will make sure to link them, and if you have the time, please do go and check them out. I would really appreciate it. But if not, that's fine. That's completely fine. Just pick up the book and read instead of listening to me yap about it. This is also a very short book. That is Earthlings. I'm just gonna move on. Should I? No, I think I told you what the vibe is. Like, I don't have to tell you exactly what it's about. You can just Google it. Am I being mean? I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Should I read out the premise to you, or should I try to explain? Because if I start explaining, I think we'll just be here for the next 4 hours, and I need to finish this in half an hour. I'm just gonna move on. The next book, oh my god. How do I not talk about this book? Is Breasts and Eggs by Mieko Kawakami. I have also spoken about this. Oh my god, I'm feeling very awkward. Can you tell? Because with all the hee that I'm doing. Yeah. So that's Breasts and Eggs by Mieko Kawakami. This is also no plot. Just again, it's very similar. It's just characters sitting and talking to each other about, except the topics in this are a little different than the Monk and the Robot. What really stuck with me, if you've read this book, you know the scene with Yuriko and Makiko sitting on that bench and talking about why would you want to have children? Why somebody would want to have children? That oh my god, you know what, do I read out like a little bit of the notes that I've like the stuff that I've highlighted? Do I do that? I should have probably prepared for this. But listen, whatever, I'm going to read it out to you, okay? You have no choice. I mean, you can click off of the video, but oh my god, I literally highlighted the entire conversation that Yuriko and Makiko have on that bench. So I'm not going to read that out because that's like pages. I'm going to, okay, so we have 3 female characters. 2 of them are women, one is a girl, so she's young, and they're all in Japan. Did I even mention that this is set in Japan? Earthlings is also set in Japan. So yes, okay. So the daughter, so we have 2 sisters, adult sisters, and one of the sisters' daughter. The daughter is not speaking, not talking to her mother. She's just writing in her own diary, in her journals, and so we get a glimpse into her psyche. You get a glimpse into the 2 other sisters' psyche. Now, I want to read out a part that the daughter has written in her journal, and just listen, okay? Also, bear in mind, I am quite bad at reading out loud as well as comprehending at the same time. So, like, I can read to myself, or I can read out. Like, I can't do this. Like, the conduction fibers are just snapped or something. Doesn't matter. Okay, it feels like I'm trapped inside my body. It decides when I get hungry, when I'll get my period. From birth to death, you have to keep eating and making money just to stay alive. I see what working every night does to my mom. It takes it out of her. But what is it all for? Life is hard enough with just one body. Why would anyone ever want to make another one? I can't even imagine why anyone would bother, but people think it's the best thing ever. Do they, though? I mean, have they ever really thought about it? When I'm alone and thinking about this stuff, it makes me so sad. At least for me, I know it's not the right thing. Once you get your period, that means your body can fertilize sperm, and that means you can get pregnant. And then we get more people thinking and eating and filling up the world. It's overwhelming. I get a little depressed just thinking about it. I'll never do it. I'll never have children. Ever. Midoriko. Midoriko is the daughter. I don't remember how old she is, but exactly. Just, I was like, exactly. Like, yeah, so the book is just, oh my god. Oh my god, I don't even know I don't know, oh my god, why did I even start recording, dude, if I have nothing to say? No, I started recording because I have other books that I've not spoken about. So these are the ones that I have already spoken about. So like, why am I just, that is Breasts and Eggs by Meiko Kawakami. You have to read it. If you want children, you have to read it. If you don't want children, you still have to read it. If you're a woman, please read it. If you're not a woman, still read it. I mean, everybody should read it. That's just oh my god. Okay. The next book. Oh, but I have already also spoken about this. This is, how do I hold it? Also, why is it dusty? Okay, this is The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. And in this, we're following a pair of twins, and they are both white passing, and but they're from a black family, right? And yeah, you're just following them, and through this lens of 2 white, and one of them chooses to live her life as a black woman. I mean, it's set in the US. Okay, so one of them chooses to live as a black woman, and the other chooses to live her life as a white woman, like completely just distances herself from her family of origin, and like nobody in her new life knows that she's actually from a black family. And yeah, you're just following these twins, and you're following their daughters as well, and it's such an interesting lens to view the racism against black people in the US, right? What time is it set in? Yeah, so it starts in 1968. Can you see that? I mean, you don't have to see that. You can just believe me. It starts in 1968, and I think it's till goes on for like I don't remember for a couple of years, because you're following. Oh yes, 1986. Oh, that's 68 to 86. Nice. That's nice. So it goes. You're following this family essentially till 1986 for about 20-ish years. It's just such a well written story. To reiterate my point in that video that I already have mentioned, but for some reason I feel like just speaking about it again, is that most of the books that I give 5 stars, we are talking about my 5-star books, right? So most of the books that I've given 5 stars to are either stuff that like I completely relate to. I'm like, it's like the author cracked open my skull and like saw what's in there, and then like wrote something that would just fit in so perfectly. Or it's like the author wrote something that would make exactly my heart the same exact words. It's like the author wrote something that would exactly make my heart very happy. So it's either like for my specifically from it feels like it's specifically written for my brain, or it's specifically written for my heart. Oh, sorry. But this was neither, because this is not a makes you heart happy kind of a book. It's also, I think you should check out the trigger warnings for this as well, because there's a lot of racism and violence that was motivated by racism. And also there's quite a bit of internalized racism, because the other sister, who is white passing, she makes friends with a black woman in her neighborhood, and you're following that friendship as well, which was very interesting. I thought, yeah. And this is not a happy book, like I said, and it's not something that I relate to. Like, it's not something that is just like things that are in my brain. Like, it's an experience, like I said, very foreign to me. But it was just such a all of this, you're following so many characters, and each of them felt so well fleshed out, like well uh, built characters, and you are rooting for all of them, and it's all within like 350 pages, maybe, like a regular schmegular book length. Like, I think that's a good, yes, it's 342 pages. That's good. That's like, it's just written so well that at no point you feel like it's kind of dragging or anything. It's just paced really well. The threads are all coming together really well. It's just such a well told story that I was very impressed by her writing. And yeah, so that's The Vanishing Half. Maybe because I have a physical copy of it, I felt like talking about it, even though I have already spoken about it. Or maybe it's just far enough into the video that I'm not awkward anymore. I'm just looking at how long it's been. The next book that I want to talk about, the only other 5-star that I have not spoken about, is Daughter of the Moon Goddess. The moment I think, I have not been able to stop thinking about this. This is like a retelling of the Chinese mythological story of the moon goddess, right? She was banished onto the moon, and you're following her daughter's story, because who would have guessed? Yeah, so it's very whimsical, very magical. Like, I can still, it's so vivid in my mind, the celestial palace and the corridors of the celestial palace. It's just so lush. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And Prince Leeway. Prince Leeway. There's also a little bit of a love triangle in this. And yeah, but Prince Leeway, when I was there was this question in the mid-year book freakout thingy tag that I did. I think that was my last video, but anyway, in that there was a question that was like along the terms of like, what was your latest fictional crush or something. And I remember telling that I don't have any fictional crushes when it comes to books or like TV shows or movies usually, but like the only exception I had was Eugene from Tangled. And then I think a couple of weeks after that, I read this book and I was like, I have a crush on Prince Leeway. If only I had read this book before that video, I would have been like, Prince Leeway, without a doubt, Prince Leeway. Am I even pronouncing his name properly? I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting that I have a mic. Yeah, so Prince Leeway is everything. And yeah, so like, listen, so obviously I read a couple of reviews on Goodreads, and I agree with a couple of them. Is that like our main character, Xingyan, I think her name is Xingyan, was bland. I agree. I agree. She was a little bland, and even I would even go one step further and say she was stupid at points. But listen, Prince Leeway. Oh gosh. Anyway, so I do agree. I do agree. She was a little stupid. But then I did this stupid thing of, this is a series, right? So I went. It's a duology. I went on to the reviews of the second book, and in Goodreads you'll have sometimes if it's a spoiler, then whoever is writing the review would just blur it out. Like they have that option of blurring it out. And me being whatever I am, I specifically click on that blurred out part. I'm like, I want to know. Like, why do you? That's self sabotage, isn't it? Isn't it self sabotage? Like, it's you. So I saw a mild spoiler for the second book, and let's just say it's hinting at an event that I absolutely do not want occurring. That I don't want. Sorry, I don't want that happening. I don't want that happening, and so I'm a little scared to pick up the second book. Also, it's not like I'm very good at finishing series. It's like I want to save it for a rainy day, like when I feel like shit is when I want to pick up the second book, because I know it'll make me feel at least somewhat better to be in that world. Maybe I'll just pick up the first book all over again and read it. Like I keep saying stuff like I want to reread stuff, but like I never do. I never reread stuff, like, so whatever. So yeah, that is Daughter of the Moon Goddess. It's quite fast paced and so much fun. I read it like over a couple of days. That's very fast for me. But then I was actually sick, so I was just in bed reading. So like maybe that's why it went faster than usual for me. But anyway, it was it was fun. It was fun. Extremely fun. 5 stars. Does it have? Is it like the most? Well, listen, it is perfect because of. I'm not going to reiterate myself. I want to go through a couple of other physical books that I have read. I've already spoken about these 2 books though, so I just wanted to show you. Cersei and A Thousand Splendid Suns, I've already spoken about these. Please do check out the trigger warnings for this one. And yeah, then moving on to books that I have not already spoken about. Should we talk about books that I liked or the ones that I didn't? Okay, let's just talk about the books that I liked. Okay, first one I want to talk about is Anxious People. Anxious People. This is by Frederick Buckman. This is his second full-length novel that I'm reading, and his third piece of work that I've been reading. Because I read his short story. What is it called? It has a long ass name. What is it called? The Way Home Gets Longer Every Day, something like that. So I was not impressed by that at all whatsoever. But this one, I've read his. My grandmother asked me to tell you she's sorry. That was really nice. That was really such a sweet read. Uh, yeah, it was such a sweet read. But this one is the best of whatever I've read from him so far. This, oh my god, I feel like I'm just holding it in front of my face. Like, how do I hold it this way? Can you even see it? I feel like I'm also doing a bad job at looking at the camera. Like I'm not looking into your eyes. No eye contact. Also, but like I'm quite bad at eye contact anyway. So like whatever. Social anxiety, girlies. Listen, this is what I meant. This is what I meant. I say the most randomest stuff. But listen, I'm not gonna take it out of. I'm not gonna. What's the word? Edit it out of the video. But anyway, Anxious People. This is one of those books where there's like 400 pages, but then it's all just events that happen in like 3 days at the very maximum. And so it's like a mystery. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my god, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't find it. Anyway, so it's posing as a mystery, but it's not a mystery, my friends. It's not. You feel like I don't know, like people don't understand. Other people seem to have gotten everything, figured out everything, how to do this human thing, like just existing in this world. And what am I saying? If you feel like being human, just functioning as a human being, as an adult human being, is hard sometimes, some days, but I would say every day, but maybe some days, and you feel like other people seem to have gotten everything right, like how do they seem to know how to function as a human being? And yeah, if that if you ever felt that way, then this is going to be comforting for you, because this is filled with people being nice to each other, being understanding, holding space for them to be flawed, and just have their emotions, sit with their emotions, and just be loved for who they are, whatever they are able to show up as, and there's just so much empathy filled in this book that you would feel seen, and why did I give it 5 stars? Actually, I did give it 5 stars, but then I went back and I was like, is it one of the, does it get to be on the same level as Breasts and Eggs and A Psalm for the Wild? So then I bumped it down to 4.75. So it's, I guess, an honorable mention. Honorable mention? One of the best books, but not my top, like, like inject it into my veins sort of a thing. But like, yeah, definitely highly recommend. It's just, it's that, oh, it's so cozy. I tried watching, it has a Netflix series as well. I tried watching it, but then, listen, I'm very picky when it comes to on-screen adaptations. I'm very picky when it comes to that. What's the time? Okay, okay. And somehow, listen, it's good, but like mm, I didn't like it. I feel like no, I didn't like it. I didn't vibe with it. But this book is just absolutely wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Should I read you any quotes that I've highlighted? I don't think I've highlighted that many. Why am I just rambling? No, I think the very first page I had highlighted a couple of stuff. So like this is barely. Oh my god, I did. I don't do this for all my books. Like I just underline, but then this one I don't know. I'd gotten new highlighters, so like I was excited to highlight. So yes. Oh yes, I wanted to tell you that this one does this thing of breaking the fourth wall often. So like the narrator would just directly talk to you, but like remember this because it's going to come back. You know, and that's fun. I really liked that as well. The only other book that I can think of that I did well was Tress of the Emerald Sea. It was very nice. I wanted to read out to you. uh, Listen, this book is dedicated to the voices in my head, the most remarkable of my friends, and to my wife who lives with us. Shut up. Like just that, like what? Like the first page, okay, I'm just going to read the highlighted parts of the first page, because there is such an unbelievable amount that we're all supposed to be able to cope with these days. You're supposed to have a job and somewhere to live and a family, and you're supposed to pay taxes and have clean underwear and remember the password to your damn Wi-Fi. Some of us never manage to get the chaos under control, so our lives just simply carry on, spinning the world spinning through space at 2 million miles an hour while we bounce about on its surface like so many lost socks. That's anxious people. Um, yes, you have to read it. You have to read it. Um, yes, so yes, it is masqueraded. That's the word I was looking for. It's masquerading as now I forgot the other word. Mystery. It's masquerading as a mystery novel, but it's not mystery at all, because why is it masquerading as a mystery novel? Because we have this bank robber who takes a group of people hostage on New Year's Eve or on New Year's Day. I don't remember. New Year's Eve. It's literally right there on New Year's Eve. And yeah, just the police come in, then the people come in, and then you just, this hostage drama. That's just it. But it's so much more than that. So please pick it up. Please do. And that's what I will say. Moving on. Moving on to the next book that I, oh my God. Have I, well, whoa, I have written down a couple of thoughts actually. I don't know if I want to read them out to you. Yeah, so this is not wholesome whatsoever, not at all wholesome, because we're following this is A Woman Is No Man by Itaf Rum. I don't know. The author herself, I think, is Palestinian American, and the characters you're following are also three generations of Palestinian American women. And you, like, okay, just because you saw Palestine, if you were expecting that it's going to talk about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, then that's not. It's just mentioned in passing, but it's not like a big part. It's not a big part of the book. But we're just following these three generations of people, women of, like, it's a family of Palestinian origin, but they're currently living in the US. And you're following how the war had taken a toll on them, and the moving to a completely new country and having to settle down, set up roots in the new country has taken a toll on them. And especially on the women, it kind of very much reminds me of A Thousand Splendid Suns. Yes, you get to see how there's so much, internalized misogyny in in their community, and you get to see how the oppressive patriarchy, how oppressive it is. And it's not only affecting the women, it's also affecting the men. You get to see the first son of the family, who okay, you're following Farida, she's the mother-in-law. You're following Isra, who is the daughter-in-law, and you're following Isra's daughter, so she's the granddaughter. And so those are the three female characters you're following. And you also see how much of a toll it takes on what is his name? Adam. His name is Adam, Isra's husband. And at some point it gets so suffocating. It's suffocating, and it's squeezing out the life out of every person. And you get to see the relationship dynamic between Farida and her husband, and then you get to see all of this generational trauma, and how it finally culminates with, in, what is the meaning of culminates? Is that even like the right word? Hold that thought. I will just check. Reaches a pinnacle. Okay, yeah, that's what I meant. Okay, so it all culminates with when it comes to Dea and how she breaks free of this. Yeah, it's a very heavy read. So again, check out the trigger warnings if you want to pick this book up. And I would say also, I was thinking that there are a lot of parallels between the experiences of these women and the experiences of many women in India as well. So like, it's not a very, although the characters are Palestinian American, like, it's not restricted to only their experiences. It's kind of a more it's more common of an experience than just one group of people, is what I'm trying to say. Am I making sense? I don't know if I am, but it's a very pretty cover, very beautiful cover. Look at the color combinations. It's very beautiful, but the story in itself is not at all beautiful. It's very heavy, and so yes, just be mindful of that, is what I would say. I keep forgetting that the camera is right there, and I keep looking just a little adjacent to the camera. So like, forgive me for that. That is A Woman Is No Man by Itaf Rum. I don't know. I'm so sorry. The next good book that I read is The Girl Who Drank the Moon. Oh my God, there are so many similar titles. I almost said The Girl Who fell beneath the sea. That was something that I read last, I don't remember, last year, 20, I don't remember doing. Okay, so that was, this is middle grade. This is a middle grade book, so it's a children's book, but I would say it doesn't read typically like usual middle grades, because it's a little um, it's like it's not, things are not presented on the platter, on a platter to the reader. You know, it's not dumbed down for its readers. So it maybe, I don't know, I'm not saying other middle grades are. I keep looking at just into the camera. Oh my god, I'm getting on my own nerves. Anyway, um, this is okay. Yeah, we're following Luna, who by accident ends up being enmagicked because she ends up drinking the moon one day, and you're following her. You're following her story. It's a shiny cover, isn't it? Anyway, so but Luna, so you're led to believe that Luna is the main character, which is not true. Luna is probably the least interesting character. You're following a whole set of characters throughout the book, and I'd say so many of them are far more interesting than Luna herself. I mean, Luna's a child. She's like 11 years old. So, like, let's not be mean to her. She's a child. But like I said, I did like reading the other characters, and they were far more interesting. And yeah, it reminds me of the Starlacy. If you've read the Starlacy, you know, the kind of writing that's like nothing is said, nothing is directly communicated to you, but you get a sense of what's going on, sort of magic. It's like nothing is explained to you like directly. But of course, this is for a younger audience, so it's like the Starlacy for a younger audience. Yeah, so and there's like so many loose ends that you're at the beginning you're like, okay, like what are you trying to build, and then eventually it starts to make sense, and that's fun, very much fun. Yeah, so I specifically especially enjoyed reading the, okay, how do I say this without a spoiler? The witch. Yes, the witch as well as Antane, who is trying to kill the witch, because in this world, apparently, the witch eats their children, and that's that. So the witch as well as the witch hunter Antane, his character, they were very interesting, and I really liked. Oh my god, no, yes, the mad woman. There's one woman whose child, when she's taken away, she goes mad essentially. So of course, like yeah, the mad woman's character was so interesting. Just the writing was like so beautiful, is what I thought. I'm trying to find something that I can read out to you that would also make sense. But the girl didn't die. Instead, the girl's magic, infused into her very cells, continued to grow. It grew and grew and grew. They could feel it when they touched her. It thrummed under her skin. It filled the gaps in her tissues. It lived in the empty spaces in her atoms. It hummed in harmony with every tiny filament of matter. Her magic was particle, wave, and motion, probability and possibility. It bent and rippled and folded in on itself. It infused the whole of her. That's pretty. That's pretty. I'm like, isn't that pretty? Madness and magic are linked after all, or I think they are. Every day the world shuffles and bends. Every day I find something shiny in the rubble. Shiny paper, shiny truth, shiny magic, shiny, shiny, shiny. She knew sadly, quite mad. She never, oh, sorry, she might never be healed. We're talking about the mad woman, like I said. Just little, like writing, which is pretty, Hope, she had told him, tracing the many scars on his face tenderly with her small, clever fingers, is those first tiny buds that form at the end of. Sorry, sorry. Is those first tiny buds that form at the very end of winter. How dry they look, how dead, and how cold they are in our fingers. But not for long. They grow big, then sticky, then swollen, and then the whole world is green. That's pretty. Yeah, so like just it's beautiful writing and a beautiful world and wonderful characters, and it's middle grade. It's cozy, it's sweet, and it's like a juicy experience, like a nice, lush, whimsical, whimsy, fantasy. Yeah, it is fantasy. Yes, I really liked it. It was wonderful. It's you you should read it. You should read it. Yes, that's the bottom line. I have been talking for so long. Should I also talk about books that I did not like? Maybe I should just do that later, like a different video, right? Okay, so that I think we should end it with that. And yeah, so see you in another video, maybe in a month, maybe in a year, who knows? But I hope you're well until then. And yeah, bye bye.